Blessings to my brothers and sisters in Ethiopia. It's your boy Dreams. We are back on Cloud 9. You know, we're doing some different things, man. We're trying out some different stuff around the music. I did one of these videos for Kazakhstan and I thought, you know what, let me try it for Ethiopia as well. So it's one of these Geography Now videos. I think it talks a little bit about the geography, a little bit about the history. But yeah, let's get into it. Let's see what it's saying. Hopefully we learn something, man. Let's go.
Hey everybody, say hi to Samri. She is a real Ethiopian.
Hi everyone.
Samri, are you ready to make Ethiopia proud?
So ready.
Let's do it.
Okay. I hope you make us proud.
Now. Hey everybody, I'm your host Barbie and we have reached Ethiopia. This is a big one, okay? Ethiopia is like one of the big shots of Africa. Yeah.
You won't find any place like this anywhere else on Earth.
No, you will not. There's so much to cover in so little time, so let's get started. Okay, so you guys know how much I love administrative subdivisions. I felt like I was a kid in a candy store when I was doing the China episode. That being said, with Ethiopia, it's like we just won the golden ticket to the chocolate factory. Let's dive in. As it borders 6 other countries, Ethiopia is the world's most populous landlocked sovereign state located in the Horn of Africa. Prior to 1996, the country used to have 13 provinces, but then after a bunch of internal drama and conflict, they redrew the lines, and now Ethiopia is divided into 9 ethnic-based regions, each with their own autonomy and extended legislative power under the constitution.
Technically, under Article 39, they each reserve the right to secede from Ethiopia if they desire.
However, it's a little debatable as to how much this clause actually applies to them. The capital Addis Ababa, which translates to New Flower, lies in the central heart of the country and acts as...
You know, someone told me that in one of my comments on one of the videos, and I just love that Addis Ababa, it means new flower. I think that is just one of the most beautiful names for a city ever. I just want to say that.
Its own separate entity apart from any region, as does the second largest city, Dire Dawa.
These are what you call charter cities. They bypass the regional level and govern themselves independently, only under the Ethiopian constitution.
Which is strange because Harare is considered a region, even though area-wise it's smaller than the charter cities and has the smallest population as well, at only around 212,000 people.
Which is even stranger because the ethnic regions are further divided into zones, which are further divided into waredas.
And some of these waredas refuse to be affiliated with a certain region that they lie in and have decided to go rogue. They're called special waredas and have a second-tiered level of autonomy, and there are 10 of them, half of which lie in the Southern Nations, Nationalities, and Peoples region, sometimes referred to as the SNNPR.
Which brings us to that place.
As the third most populous region, this aptly named area of Ethiopia has more tribes and people groups than anywhere else. Most regions have less than 10 main people groups that inhabit their boundaries. This place has about 45. And I think that's about it with administrative divisions.
Oh wait, land disputes.
Yeah, okay, here we go.
There's a Lemi Triangle, all the way in the south by Kenya and Sudan.
Then there's the Ogaden dispute with Somalia, and finally, technically, there's that Jabal al-Tayr Island dispute with Eritrea and Yemen in the Red Sea, even though Yemen kind of took it over, but then that volcano exploded and destroyed half of everything. Look it up, guys, I'm on a time crunch.
Very quickly, the largest airports are, of course, the capital Addis Ababa, Bole International, Dire and Mekelle in the north.
One thing that definitely makes Ethiopia stick out, though, would have to be the fact that they are the only African country to successfully avoid ever being colonized by any European outside forces.
Shout out Ethiopia on that one. Shout out Ethiopia on that one. And I actually learnt this through Teddy Afro. Imagine that. I actually learnt that through Teddy Afro, through the performance at Mescal Square. That's how I learnt that Ethiopia's never been colonized. Music is amazing. Imagine that.
The Italians tried, but then they held their ground and fought back relentlessly.
I forgot about Libya.
No, and Libya tried too. Yeah. Oh yeah. But they're not European.
That's true. This was unexpectedly unprecedented, but in return kind of gave them a little respect.
Yeah, Ethiopia held their ground, right? There isn't a single place that embodies the entire soul of Ethiopia, but rather the country is speckled with unique sites that each tell their own distinct piece of the Ethiopian story. They have more UNESCO heritage sites than any other country in Africa. Gunfire round, just to name a few notable spots.
The Harara Hyena Town, where you can feed wild hyenas. The mysterious
I want to do a video on it. I've actually found a video on the wild hyenas. Let me know if you guys are interested in me doing that, because I think that would be so cool, you know.
Stela stone carvings. The Bete Gorgis of Lalibela.
Oh my gosh, yes. Wow. I've seen this before. This looks incredible. Like, how did they do this? How did they do this? This looks amazing.
hewn out of single rock, the Chapel of the Tablet, where it's believed to hold the incredible ancient Ark of the Covenant.
Yeah.
Guarded by virgins who cannot leave the building.
The obelisk of Aksum from the ancient Aksum kingdom, the indigenous tribal villages of Omo Valley, and the famous castle of Gondar.
Yeah, and we haven't even mentioned what the landscape looks like yet.
And this is where the real adventure begins.
Oh, wow, yes. Ethiopia's land is shrouded with extremes on so many levels, and to really get a good look at it, you kind of have to understand the tectonic makeup. Like mentioned in the Eritrea episode, the Horn of Africa is located on the tri-point convergence of the Arabian, African, and Somali plates, and Ethiopia is caught right in the middle of all of it. The Somali plate isn't so much of a plate, but rather a crack that didn't finish cracking, and today grinds across the African plate horizontally in what is called a transform motion.
This essentially splits the country into two portions, the western and eastern Ethiopian highlands, also known as the Ethiopian Plateau and the Amar Mountain.
The Ethiopian highlands are the largest continuous mountain range in Africa, which stretch north to south and comprise a great diversity of terrain depending.
That landscape looks absolutely incredible. Oh my gosh.
On the region.
Climate-wise, it basically goes like this. The east is hot and the west is cool.
Oh, that's
Okay.
simple. As mentioned before, the northeast corner by the border of Eritrea contains the Danakil Depression.
What is this? This looks like something from another planet. What is this?
We find Dolol, the hottest human settlement on Earth, with average annual temperatures holding around 41 degrees Celsius.
Whoa.
Most of this hauntingly beautiful area is uninhabitable, with some areas fuming with toxic gases
gonna say,
coming
is
from
this
the boiling
sulfur or
geothermal
something?
salt ponds.
Nonetheless, people still come here to mine for salt on a regular basis. Oh, and if you're lucky, you can witness blue lava flowing from some of the minor
Whoa. Is that real? Is that real? Are they joking? Blue lava. I've never heard of that in my life. What?
volcanoes in the area.
Blue lava.
Yeah,
That's, wow, blue. I didn't even know that existed. Close by, you can also find Ertaale, the most active volcano in Ethiopia, with 2 lava lakes continuously shining orange, sometimes referred to as the gates of hell. Nope, I have the real one, and mine's better.
Head inland and we hit the breathtaking Simeon Mountains, where the tallest peak, Rash Desene, is found.
Here you can find Lake Tana, the largest lake in Ethiopia, and the source of the Blue Nile, which makes up a little loop-de-loop and then flows northward into the White Nile in Sudan.
Head more south and the landscape suddenly becomes dramatically more lush and green, with the highest concentration of vegetation in the country.
The west and south are home to the largest portions of agricultural plots where various grains, vegetables, and spices and herbs are grown, including, once again, teff, the national grain of Ethiopia, which is used to make the same injera bread I talked about in the Eritrea video, and this is what it looks like, and it's so good. All right, crew, come on over.
Yeah, guys, injera. I've had it before, and it was incredible. And I really, really cannot wait to have it again. Oh, so good, man. So good. And teff, I didn't actually realize it was is that what it's called? Is that what it's called again? You called it teff.
Including, once again, teff, the
Yeah,
national grain of
teff.
Ethiopia, which is used to make the same injera bread I talked about in the Eritrea video.
I recently came across this, you know. I think this grain has got a lot of good properties. Please, guys, talk to me about it in the comments. Let me know more about teff. Apart from the fact that it's used to make injera, what's good about it? Because I came across this recently.
And this is what it looks like, and it's so good. All right, crew, come on over. All right, lunch break. We're eating right now. Lunch break. Come on. Yes.
If you've never had Ethiopian food, you're missing out on life.
The land is also teeming with numerous species of animals like gazelles, antelope, kudu, cheetahs, ibex, baboons, and a hotbed for over 500.
Guys, I don't know if I've mentioned this to you yet. I love nature. I absolutely love nature, and I love animals. Yeah. If you are down for me to do a video on Ethiopian nature, Ethiopian animals, please let me know. I would love that.
Species of birds that either inhabit
Whoa.
or migrate through the plateaus year-round. However, the national animal is the lion. It was even put on the former flag of Ethiopia when it was under the last emperor, which has a pretty interesting story behind it, which we will cover in... Okay, let's just dispel the myth already. When you hear the word Ethiopia, everyone still kind of thinks of this.
And yes, during the conflict years, there was more prevalent. However, mainstream Ethiopia is nothing like that.
No.
No.
One thing you have to understand is that Ethiopia not only has ancient history, but prehistoric history.
Yes, as in like some of the oldest specimens of modern day humans have been found in Ethiopia.
Yeah, labeling it as one of the origin regions of human emergence.
Remember Lucy?
Oh.
Yeah.
Guys, you know what? You know what's mad? I've always had this theory. Yeah, I've always had this theory. Okay? Come for me or not, right? But I've always had this theory that the Garden of Eden, yeah, was in or is or was in Ethiopia. Yeah, I don't know why, but you know, like whenever I look at the globe, whenever I look at the map of the world, yeah, if you put bunch everywhere together, I swear Ethiopia is like right in the middle. It's like right in the middle. And I've just got this I don't know where it's come from. No one's ever told me this, but I just have this thing in my mind where I'm like, I swear the Garden of Eden is it's just in Ethiopia. Same way the Ark of the Covenant is there. I believe that's where the Garden of Eden is. I just want to get that out there.
Ethiopia. First of all, now Ethiopia is incredibly diverse with over 80 different ethnic groups and tribes living in the country. However, a few of them stand out and dominate the rest. About a third of the population is Oromo and about 30% are Amara. At less than 10% each are other groups like Somali, Tigrayan, Sidama, and the rest are huge conglomerations of over 70 different people groups. As mentioned in the Eritrea video, Ethiopia is unique that along with Eritrea, they have an Abesha population.
In a nutshell, Abishas are Africans that have Semitic roots down the line to their ancestry, as they inhabited the ancient land of Kush.
As the story goes, Ethiopians claim that they are descendants of the historical King Solomon and the Queen of Sheba, who gets a quick shout out in the Bible.
Long story short, she had a son from Solomon named Menelik, who became the first emperor of Ethiopia.
DNA tests have shown that most Abesha identified individuals have partial genetic markers and traces that come from the same ones that are typically found in Jews and Arabs.
This is partially the reason why Abisha people look a little different from the rest of what most presume a sub-Saharan African individual is portrayed as.
Oh, and they love their hair, right, Sammy? Ethiopians? Yes. They have one of the most intriguing, unique designs in the world that can't be found anywhere else, and they just flash their natural follicles.
I'm not gonna lie. See these hairstyles here? They're just incredible. Like, I don't know how you even do this one. The woman that's wearing the white. How you do these tiny cornrows in this style. It's just incredible. So beautiful, man.
Unique designs in the world that can't be found anywhere else, and they just flash their natural follicles.
Amharic women even have a fascinating hair whipping dance that looks like this.
Oh, love this. Love it.
Nonetheless, that is only the Abisha of Ethiopia.
Yeah, once again, there are over 80 ethnic groups that are radically different from the others. Oh, and once again, just like Eritrea, the Amharic peoples also use the only indigenous African script, the Fidel, or the Fidel? Fidel, or Giz alpha syllabary.
Otherwise, almost all the other people groups in Ethiopia write with a Latin-based script like Oromo and Somali.
Speaking of which, the Oromo, which are slightly the largest group, speak a Cushitic-based language closer to Somali and Afar, which is completely unintelligible to Amharic. The country has ties to all three Abrahamic religions, Christianity, Judaism, and Islam.
About 63% are Christians, mostly Ethiopian Orthodox and Protestant. Muslims make up about a third, and the rest are either Jew and other indigenous faiths.
Yeah, you heard that right. Jews. Ethiopia is home to one of the only black Jewish populations. There's a dispute that the Lemba of South Africa are also black.
I never ever knew that. I never knew there were Jewish people in Ethiopia. Wow. Please, if anyone in the comments can educate me on this, I would really be interested to know. Also, you know, I love when people fact check. So like, let me know if everything in this video has been accurate so far. If anything is wrong, please correct it in the comments for me, guys. Because yeah, man, it's all good hearing stuff from these videos, but you know I love to get it from the people themselves. So let me know in the comments if anything in here I'm hearing is incorrect, please.
Black Jews, but that's another story.
Back when it was the Kingdom of Aksum, Ethiopia became one of the first nations to accept Christianity.
And as tradition holds, Jesus' disciple Matthew traveled there to share the gospel, and Philip the evangelist baptized the first Ethiopian.
The Harari region of Ethiopia is also regarded as the fourth holiest site in Islam, as it has 82 mosques and over 100 shrines.
But one thing, Samri, that really sticks out would have to be the Ethiopian calendar, right?
Yeah,
that's
so
pretty
unique.
weird. Yeah.
The Ethiopian calendar is about 7 years and 3 months behind the standard Gregorian calendar that most other nations follow. As of right now in 2016, the year is 2008 in Ethiopia.
Really?
Okay, so this is quite an old video. This is like 10 years old, but yo, I think this is very, very interesting. The Ethiopian calendar, I think, is very, very interesting. And I actually think it makes logical sense. I really do.
It's like 2008 in Ethiopia right now.
Yeah.
Weird. Very similar to the Coptic one, the calendar uses 12 months with 30 days each and a 13th epigomenal month made up of either 5 or 6 days depending on the year. New Year's Day typically lands on September 11th or the 12th depending on the year.
Throughout most of their history, Ethiopia was under...
Okay, so there's 13 months. That makes sense.
kingdoms and empires, the last one ending with Emperor Haile Selassie.
However, his son Amha kind of ruled technically for like 1 year until the communist Derg community came in, and then they ended the monarchy.
Side note, this is where the tension with Eritrea pretty much started.
The Derg was deposed, and now they operate under a federal parliamentary republic.
Fun side note, Emperor Haile Selassie is still to this day revered by Rastafarians as their messiah, even though he was quoted for saying, "I am not God."
Sammy, I'm just curious, like, what do Ethiopians think about the whole Rastafarian thing and Haile Selassie and all that stuff? What do they think about it?
They think they're pretty cool. I mean, they love our country, and they have a portion of land there, and so they provide to our economy.
Yeah, you can imagine how they felt when he actually visited the country in the 60s. Speaking of outside relations, Ethiopia is kind of a big shot. They've earned their prestige in the world stage, and now they have a lot of people to connect with. No surprise, the US and China are the biggest overseas investors in Ethiopia. The US gives the most aid and has military alliances, and China is the largest importer. They have both relations with Israel and Palestine. After Israel became a state, thousands of Ethiopians flocked over, and today there are more Ethiopian black Jews living in Israel than in Ethiopia. Palestine is also recognized as a state, and both have their own embassies. Turkey has ties from way back in the Ottoman Empire times, and Russia used to be a really good friend back when the Communist Derg Committee took over for about 20 years. Now things are kind of like between them. Their best friends, however, would probably be Egypt, Djibouti, and to a lesser extent maybe Sudan. Egypt shares an ancient...
Is that true? I mean, I thought there was a little bit of tension with Egypt. Well, this is old, but I feel like correct me if I'm wrong, but since the dam was built, and that's another one. Let me know if you want me to do a video on the dam, because yeah, that looks very interesting. But I thought there's a little bit of tension with Egypt right now. But let me know if I'm right or wrong on that one.
History with Ethiopia for thousands of years, and the Nile Basin plays a major role in their cooperation. Djibouti is kind of like their only way out to the Red Sea, and business between them is crucial for Ethiopia's trade sector. Sudan is kind of like a major oil provider and gateway to the Mediterranean for them. Despite the border conflict, they still have relatively good relationships. In conclusion, Ethiopia is kind of like a big deal. I mean, some of the earliest peoples ever recorded came from here, let alone communities and civilizations. They avoided European colonization and have a unique, vibrant, diverse background found nowhere else, and yet somehow they're able to hold on to every region together and become one proud people of rich heritage.
Yeah.
What do you think, Sammy? Was that accurate? Was that?
Yes. Thank you.
All right. Yes.
Thank you.
Stay tuned. After nearly 2 years of doing Geography Now, we finally go back to Oceania, and Fiji is coming up next.
Okay. So, I mean, you know, Sammy said that he did good. You guys let me know. Like I said, if there's anything in there that wasn't accurate, let me know. But I do think that was a good roundup, you know. I like the way that these videos are done because they give you a little taste of each, how do we say, part of, how do I say this, man? You know, each part of the geography. So yeah, I think that's really cool. If there's any parts that you want me to dive deeper into though, guys, please do let me know in the comments. Like I said, I'd love to get into nature. I would love to get into the dam. I would love to do some stuff on the hyenas, even the church that was built out of rock. I would love to look into that. Just more nature stuff, more cultural stuff, even food. Just anything that you would like me to look into that's going to teach me more about the culture. Please, please, please suggest it in the comments, guys, because I'm just loving learning more about Ethiopia. I really, really am. But if you're feeling this, like, please make sure you're leaving a like, hyping this up. This is Cloud9, guys. This is where we go to find the best music and also the best culture in the world. And Ethiopia, you know I love Ethiopia, man. It holds a special, special place in my heart. So make sure you guys are getting in the comments and making suggestions for me, yeah? Most importantly, though, make sure you are subscribing to the channel, guys. Go check out my other videos over here. But if you made it this far, you know what I'm going to say, man. I love you guys. Have a sick day, sick night. Go be a G. Boom.